Hello, Agnimitra. Thank you for joining on the Geeky Pod with Manas. So, first of all, how are you
Uh,
doing?
yeah, I'm doing great, and it's great to be here with you. It's long time since I've seen you.
Right, right. So, first of all, tell me, like, what are you up to nowadays in your career and maybe in education level?
Okay, so I completed my PhD from IIT Kanpur in electrical engineering. Then just after giving defense, within 1 week, I joined the IISc as a postdoctoral fellow here. So here I'm working on sensors and quantum dots, so quantum technology. So let's see where this goes. But this is again an independent research position at IISc, but I'm hoping for the best here.
Great, great, great. So, you mentioned that you have completed your PhD from IIT Kanpur, right? So, if you may say, like, what was
Right.
your submission that you got PhD against?
Okay, so for that I have to backtrack a little bit. So
Sure.
my BTech final year project. So as you know, I was a electrical engineering student. So I was a core electrical engineering student. So I was dealing with heavy like machineries and like electrical devices, drives, and all those things. But my final year project was on photonics. So the thing was that the professor that was guiding me during my project was really good. Like
Okay.
I think you remember her from electrical engineering, Shumita there.
Yes.
So yeah. So she is a really fantastic professor. So what she did was she taught our like complex systems, but she had a very clear knowledge of photonics also. So when our project was going on, she explained very difficult subjects on photonics very easily. So from there, I like it sparked an interest for me that I wanted to do something in photonics. And after I completed my BTech, before I completed even my BTech, in the last semester, I was trying for the masters in different IITs in photonics
Mm-hmm.
specifically. So because I was getting interested into the nooks and crannies of these subject, I was planning to do some research in photonics in as a master student. Then I was planning to move ahead to like doing PhD if I find it interesting. But the thing that happened was that there was a new thing called direct PhD process in different IITs.
Mm-hmm.
So they had these kind of like conditions. Like if you are, some IITs had these kind of conditions that if you are in the top five uh, of of your respective government institute colleges like NITs and IITs,
Mm-hmm.
and some IITs gave some CGPA base like 8.5. It has to be 8.5 CGPA overall,
Mm-hmm.
and some IITs gave an option like you have to have this much of grade score, then you can apply for direct PhD program. So
Okay.
what that does is that you can join the PhD program directly after BTech, but you have to do a lot more coursework. As you are skipping masters, you
Mm-hmm.
have to cover all the things that you are supposed to learn in masters, but because you are doing in PhD, instead of four courseworks, most of the IITs they provide around 10 to 12 courseworks. So it is adding the 8 courses of master's degree and the 4 courses of PhD. So that's the direct PhD program. So luckily, I got my chance to try at IIT, and I got selected luckily in the photonics program of PhD in IIT Kanpur in electrical engineering. So at that time, I was thinking like, okay, I don't have any research experience as such in the um, like what to say in the field of photonics. Even in like I didn't have much idea about the concept of research, what the research was supposed to entail. So I was thinking like, okay, I was thinking of doing PhD. Let's try this. If I don't like it, I can later on convert this thing to master's degree also. So there is an option. If you join the direct PhD program, you can later on convert it to master's program also if you don't like it. So I was thinking like, okay, it's a win-win situation. Let's join it and see if it suits me. If it suits me, then fine, I will go through the program. And if it doesn't suit me, I will convert it to masters. So I had to do like 10 courses. The minimum criteria was 10 courses, and my supervisor, she suggested me to do 2 additional courses, which was relevant to my work. So after that, doing 12 courses, it only already like 1.5 years went, like 4 coursework per semester. So 3 semesters was gone, and then another 6 months was required for me to fully understand how the lab works and what are the like the research facilities in our lab.
Right, right. So it was uphill and downhill, and then again uphill, and finally you got your degree.
Yeah, yeah, but it was really helpful.
Yes, yes. Okay, so first of all, congratulations on your PhD. After all this
Thank you.
up and downhill.
Yeah, right.
Right. So as you mentioned that since photon was your area of interest during your bachelor's degree, so you also opted for same photon-based research and master's and PhD in your higher studies as well. So how easy or difficult it is for a student in NITs or any other college for that matter to enter into IITs? So you mentioned that there is a criteria of CGPA, certain CGPA. So other than that, what is the other procedure so that one can enter into IITs for doing their PhD or masters?
Okay, so the most common way is to go to GATE. The GATE exams give you a pretty good idea about what the cutoff mark is for the master program in IITs. And although the majority of the candidates, they opt for GATE for getting into PSUs, but still, if you know that this is the criteria that they are asking for, you have a pretty good idea that this much amount of candidates are going for PSUs because from the past years, and you have an idea that even if the cutoff is that much, you can like plus minus 10%. That you will be able to get into IITs as a master's program. And then on top of that, you have to look into the growing like engineering departments in different IITs. Like different IITs have different departments which are more more lucrative as compared to the departments from other IITs. So we have to, like, for example, the electrical engineering and computer science engineering of IIT Kanpur is really like better than that of the IIT Madras and IIT Bombay ones. And in IIT Bombay ones, you have these like mechanical engineering and all like material science engineering. Like you have to like see which branch you are interested in, and then what is your like research interest that you are pursuing. Accordingly, you can try at different IITs. Like if you qualify for the cutoff mark of one IIT, you can be pretty much sure that you will be qualifiable for other IITs, like similar IITs, like for IIT Kanpur, IIT Bombay, IIT Madras, and IIT Kharagpur, IIT Roorkee. These have similar cutoffs. So if you are aiming for one of these branches that you are interested in, you can opt for them. And I would suggest that before making your decision about going to the master's or a research program in these IITs, just make a background study of the like subject that you are going to pursue, because quite often in BTech we don't have that much exposure to the subject to that level. But in masters, although you have 1 year of coursework, less amount of time to do research, because after coursework you get only 1 year to complete your research work to do the master's thesis. So I would suggest completely understand that if you are going for research, you have to do something which has not been done before, which is completely new. So you have to commit to that level that there, if you are not finding something, you have to find some way to troubleshoot it. It's not like in BTech days, if we can't do it, we can take helps from faculties or some seniors, and we can troubleshoot our subject matters or project things. It's because it's a research thing, it's completely new, and someone, your guide will be there to support you and suggest you some materials. But at the end of the day, it's up to you that you have to troubleshoot that particular problem that you are focusing on. So I would suggest, if you are planning on going into research, do a little bit of background study. That yes, yeah, this is actually the thing that I want to do, and then proceed for the master's program or PhD.
Okay. Yeah. So from your own experience, you have done your bachelor's in NIT, and then you have done your PhD and master's in IIT. So how NITs and IITs build you for taking up risks in your studies, and how they build up so that you can go for higher studies and do some research and finally publish your papers or observations? What is the build-up stage from NIT?
Right. Right. So in NITs, like I was a student from NIT, like you are, and we can both agree that we have a solid background of subject matters that has been taught to us, that we know quite a lot because we have studied from NIT, and because the NITs is the coursework in NITs are structured in such a way that it will give a solid base on top of which you will build your own projects or something like that. Like you and I, we both have done final year projects, and these are kind of like stepping stones to research. So yeah, definitely NITs do have this solid coursework background that has been taught to us. But the main difference that I faced when I went from NIT to IIT was that the course structure of NIT was more rigid, and it was, what to say, very bookish in nature. So if you are following whatever has been taught in the class, or you have a particular structure by which the faculty is teaching, you follow that structure and you do some diligent work from different reference group, you'll be able to secure a good amount of marks in the exams. But in IITs, it's quite different. So the first semester, I remember clearly, when I went to IITs, it was really jumping from a pool to a turbulent river. I was not getting a grip of anything. So I was studying the same way I have been trained to study for the last 4 years in BTech, but I soon realized in midterms that it won't make the cut. So the thing is that in IITs, they teach you everything. They say that follow these reference books and all those things. But when they set the exams and these assignments, projects, etc., it's a completely different thing. So, for example, if I'm giving a very crude example, for example, they are teaching you 1 plus 2 in class, and they are giving you some problems on summation function in exam. So it's the same concept, but elevated to a whole different level. So if you don't have a clear concept of the working of these things that they are teaching in class, you will not be able to crack the exams. That's for sure. And I have seen myself that people who had good grades in from NIT Warangal, NIT Trichy, and all those top NITs, they were getting very bad, poor marks in midterms.
Wow.
And after the first midterm, I got to like see that I too was not getting a good marks. The first semester, first midterm, so it was quite bad. And then uh, I discussed with different faculty members, like PhD faculty members, and some of my seniors who are pursuing PhD. And they said that, it's quite a shock if you are following the same trend as you were following in NITs. You have to, what to say, you have to study a lot more in like in advanced concepts that they are not teaching in class. So, for example, if they are teaching something in class, you have to be like 2-3 steps ahead of that, and then you can fully grasp the quality of the problems that they are giving in the exams. So after that, I slowly started adjusting my studying procedure, and I finally got a grip of the subject matters. So in the first semester, I had pretty bad grade. Like I had 2 Bs and 2Cs, and in IIT Kanpur, the grades are like if you get A grade, it's 10. If you get B grade, it's 8. If you get C, it's 6. So it's in double digits. Though it has changed now, but when I was there as a student, it was quite difficult. So if you are getting C in some subject, it's really bad. So there is no intermediate things. So I was I was at 7 pointers in first semester. Then I started getting a grip on the study materials and all these things. And then next 2 semesters was quite good. Like I then in quite a lot of the coursework I was getting a hold of, and I was getting good grades. Like I got A star and all those things. So at the end of the coursework, I had like 8.2 grade out of 10. So so it's kind of like it's a learning process. That's what I can say.
Right.
That it's you learn as you go, and and you adjust. So definitely. So there was quite a difference in the quality of the coursework that I had experienced in IIT Kanpur, and it was really good because once I stepped into the research field, I found out these courseworks, they really is helpful because now you know how to tackle even a strong problem, like how you have to look the coursework taught you how to change your perspective in order to tackle a single problem. It's not a linear path. You can try to solve a single problem in different ways, and you can that coursework, the course structure taught you like how to change your perspective mainly, and then it was very helpful for research.
Okay. Thank you for watching up to this. Due to some technical reasons, we could not present the whole video today. However, the entire episode in audio format is available on all audio platforms like Spotify, uh, Apple Podcast, then Google Podcast, Ghana, and Amazon Music, and all other platforms. So the links for those platforms are in the description. Please check out the entire episode and do follow, rate if you like the content. Thank you.